Until you've been on a Harley Davidson, you haven't been on a motorcycle.
My name is Selinski, and I ride a 2011 Sportster 883 Hugger. I've been riding motorcycles now for 6 years. I started riding when I was 19 years old. Motorcycles have always been a part of my family. My grandpa has always had a garage full of motorcycles. I didn't end up getting my motorcycle permit until I was 19. I'm not sure why I delayed it so much, but I was happy when I got it. I scored perfect on my riding test. And then I proceeded to crash my dad's motorcycle in a turn, break my collarbone, and be out for a whole riding season right when I first started riding. First motorcycle that I got was a Kawasaki Eliminator 125 after crashing my dad's Yamaha 650. My parents decided that I needed a little smaller motorcycle, so my dad and his friends helped me bring this motorcycle back to life and repaint it and ride it. I had that for about a season. 125 cc's is not very powerful, which led me to my Suzuki SV 650S. It's a sports bike, but this one was extremely stripped down, all the plastics taken off. Just a very custom rat looking motorcycle, and I loved it. I had that for a good handful of years, and I recently sold it because I had acquired my Sportster. The story behind the Sportster is that I had just been looking on Craigslist for a new motorcycle. My goal was to get a more comfortable motorcycle that I could take on longer trips. I ended up finding this Sportster in the middle of December of Minnesota winter, and it was snowing, it was gross, but the motorcycle was a good price and nothing really seemed to be wrong with it mechanically. So I ended up buying it. The guy I bought it from towed it to my friend Dean's house, and there we worked on it. I was really excited. With it not really having a whole lot of mechanical issues, a lot of it was just taking it apart to get the parts out that we wanted to replace. The tires were still original, so we took the tires off so I could get some new tires. I wanted to repaint the tank because it was all scratched up. We took a lot of the pieces apart to get them re-powder coated black or changed to black. So cosmetically it was a big change for the motorcycle because it started out a tealish green, and I ended up deciding leaving it raw metal, and so it was a silver. Some of the choices that I made when changing my motorcycle cosmetically just happened by chance. We decided to leave the tank and the fenders raw metal and clear over it with a Harley decal on the sides of the tank. We had just decided to do that while we were stripping the original paint off to get it down to bare metal to paint, because I had originally planned to paint it black and put different decals on it that I had created myself. But when we were stripping it down, I thought the bare metal looked really awesome, so we decided to sandblast it, polish the metal, and clear over. Unfortunately, once we cleared over it, the texture of the metal seemed to go away, which was kind of a bummer because it seems like it's just painted dark gray now. But currently it's still in its raw metal form, and it's actually accruing rust under the clear. So now it is metal with a tinge of brown. The patina looks pretty cool, but overall that's probably not the greatest for the bike. So for future plans, I will probably end up repainting it. One of the biggest frustrations I had when building and rebuilding the bike was truing the wheels. We decided to repaint the rims black instead of chrome. So we had to take out all of the lacing, we had to unlace the wheel, and so the rim could be painted black. But then the spokes needed to go back into the wheel once that was done. And I didn't realize how much of a project that was going to be. Truing wheels is really hard, and I had such a hard time with the back wheel. It was really frustrating. If I would have known it was going to be that much work, I maybe would have not have done it. I'm really happy with how the black wheels turned out, but relacing them and truing the wheels and making sure they were all round and tight and the spokes were correct was super hard. Putting it back together was a super fun part of the bike build, obviously. That's when, you know, it's all actually coming together and there's actually going to be a motorcycle there. Dean and Jared were there to help me put it together. It was a super rewarding experience. Dean was really helpful, and Jared came to do a lot of the wiring to help me with a lot of that. My other friends, Jen and Jimmy, showed up for support. It's just a really nice way to be able to connect with your friends and learn more about motorcycles in a really relatable situation, and specifically it was really great to learn about my own motorcycle and how to fix it if anything would go wrong, because I was the one who put it together. Being within a motorcycle community in Minnesota is really rewarding. Before I rode, I never realized how many motorcyclists there actually are. Now that I live in Northeast Minneapolis, and it's this combination of the art scene plus motorcycle enthusiasts plus builders, and it's a really great place to be for this different kind of motorcycle culture. When you think of motorcycle culture, I feel like you just have that stigma of like old biker dude with a bagger, and that's not what motorcycling is anymore. Or I hope that it's evolving into something else, because that stigma is still there and still very present. As a female rider, that's even more prevalent, I would say, when it comes to riding, because you're still not really taken very seriously. But within Minneapolis, I have met so many other riders that are so down to earth, that are interested in building their own bikes and riding bikes, and just creating a very inclusive community no matter what kind of motorcycle you have. Motorcycle dealers and brands are doing more, I think, to include all different aspects of motorcycle riders, because it's not just, you know, Harleys and baggers anymore. A lot of people are very into adventure bikes, and adventure bikes are becoming very popular. You know, sports bikes are still prevalent. People are more inclusive for, you know, having sports bikes in their groups, and like there's European and vintage bikes, and people love those, and people love restoring bikes again, and that's really exciting. And you know, choppers are still extremely prevalent, but they allow everyone to come look at them and be a part of the community, and it's just really great to be a part of that right now while it's happening.